3 colorless and 2 green for a 5/5. For a colorless and a green, colon, put a 1/1 green insect creature token onto the battlefield, right? Onto the battlefield. I don't know why they couldn't have just called the battlefield the field. I think that would have been better. Because, you put an enchantment, secluded grove or something. Putting your secluded grove onto the battlefield, or Sterling Grove, whatever. Yeah, just the field would have sounded less cheesy. I think Battlefield's one of the things I'm least partial to about the new changes. It just sounds silly, and most of the other ones sound fine, like Exile and whatnot, which is just a second graveyard now, basically exiled, the exiled zone. But this guy's pretty amazing. 5 for 5/5 is always good and limited, and then the ability to just pump out 1/1 tokens is ridiculous. This ability was better back in Sliver Queen's day because creatures weren't as good. So paying 2 for a 1/1, and also Sliver Queen was you could just use colorless mana. But you already paid 2 green for this guy, so presumably you have the green, and it wouldn't be much of a restriction. So, and limited, he's a bomb, huge bomb. So. In Constructed, I doubt he'll get play in Constructed. 5 for a 5. 5 mana creatures. Creatures, aren't much better than the removal that kills them. So the fact that Doomblade or whatever it is kills this guy for 2 mana as an instant, just or you can Path to Exile him for 1. That's why the best creatures are 2 and 3 mana, because they at least get some parity with the tempo of removal. And the higher casting cost creatures don't get play very much because it's too easy to kill them unless they have like a protection from something, or they have a come into play effect, or they have Cascade, etc. Broodmate makes another 4/4 token when it comes into play, so you can't just get rid of it. You have to get rid of both it and what it did. Okay, anyway, Armored Ascension got reprinted from Lorwyn block. Shadowmoor block, Eventide. So, yeah, as always, it's pretty good. I've never been a huge fan of creature enchants in Limited. But I'm a big fan of other people playing them because, I like to play blue in 10th or in base sets and play Unsummon and Boomerang. They play their creature enchants, and I get a tempo advantage, and they lose a card, so it's 1 for 1, and I get the tempo advantage. So I have no problem with it. But sometimes I could see myself playing something like Armored Ascension in a heavy white deck, or even a half and half deck. It's pretty good. I wouldn't take it like super high. I certainly wouldn't take it over removal. I'd probably take it, if I wanted to play it, if that's the kind of deck I had, and I'd try and use it as a trick where when they were tapped out, so I at least get 1 attack in. Or depending on what I knew about the deck, I'd probably take it like, somewhere in the 4th to 5th pick range. That's fine. Or just after removal and any amazing creatures. A lot of people would disagree with me. They'd probably play it higher than that. But creature enchantments are only as good as the bounce in a format usually, or the unconditional removal. So Assassinate got reprinted. Destroy target tapped creature. It's okay. They get a hit in, which kind of sucks, but definitely take it very high. It is removal. Awakener Druid. I don't like this guy very much. He's 3 for a 1. When he comes into the battlefield, target forest. So he's 2 colorless and a green. Awakener Druid. Human Druid. He's a 1/1. When he comes into the battlefield, target forest becomes a 4/5 green tree folk creature as long as the druid is on the battlefield. It's still a land. So, well, that's not bad. In combat, the tree folk, has its 5 toughness, but if they have a pinger or anything that does 1 damage, they can kill him for 1. And you make your forest into a tree folk, you're going to want to attack with it um, instead of using it for mana a lot of the time. And in these decks, you're going to want to use all your mana as you curve out. So he's okay. I'm sure I would play him as like a 23rd card, 22nd, 23rd. I wouldn't play it. I wouldn't take him really highly though. All lightning. Maybe it'll get played and constructed. 3 for 6 damage. He's always been a staple in burn decks. In limited, I probably would not play him. He's triple red, unless I'm playing a super heavy red deck, like 2/3 or 3/4 red cards and then something else, and then I can play like 2/3 of my lands mountains, and then something in the rest of the other color or whatever. I don't know if this guy's gotten a little weaker because because creatures have gotten so much better, So when you can pay 3 mana for a 5/4 that sticks around, although I don't even think that card's the worst defender of it'd be nice if it had haste. Birds of Paradise got reprinted. Birds has always been amazing. If you ever have the interest, look up Birds of Paradise documentary with David Attenborough. You can get it on Netflix, I believe, on the Instant Play. And the actual Birds of Paradise that live in New Guinea or something, one of these places. Where are the Kiwis from? Australia? Anyway, they're freaky. It's a freaky family of birds that have an amazing variety. Anyway, Black Knight got reprinted. Okay, always been a staple. That's good. Blinding Mage is a tapper. It's a new card. Colorless and a white for a 1/2, which is nice because it can't get pinged. It's a human wizard instead of cleric, which a lot of these guys used to be clerics, or are clerics. 1 white, tap target creature. So yeah, it's a really high pick. I think I would probably take pacifism over it, but that's about it. I mean, in white for the removal. Bog Wraith. This is a reprint, and it's always been okay. It's a hill giant, which means it's 4 mana for a 3/3 that has Swamp Walk. So solid enough. Bogarden Hellkite, 6, 7, 8. It's a slow enough format that this guy's certainly justified, especially since he can wreak havoc the turn he comes into play. And he's got the flash, so you can do it as a surprise. And of course he's mythic, so that won't up that much in draft. Constructed, I don't know. With the new rules, Braid of Fire no longer, you don't have to worry about it dealing damage to you anymore. So maybe some kind of control red-blue deck or something could come about, or red whatever. And you can, play Bogarden Hellkite on your upkeep, with your Braid of Fire mana. Okay, Borderland Ranger, a new card. It's basically a reprint of Civic Wayfinder with a new name. So 2 colorless and a green for a 2/2 human scout. When he comes into the battlefield, you search your library for a basic land, reveal it, put it in your hand. Okay, same as Civic Wayfinder. I don't know if Civic Wayfinder was. I know he was human, I think. I don't know if he was a scout, probably. So almost the exact same card. The artwork fine. It's fine. Mid-range pick in draft. So your 7th or 8th, 5th, 6th is fine. It's card advantage. That's always good. He's only a 2/2 though, so. Bountiful Harvest. This card is more toilet paper. 4 colorless and a green for you gain 1 life for each land you control as a sorcery. It's terrible. So late game, okay, I gain 8. Whatever. It's horrible. Okay. Bramble Creeper. 5 for a 0/3. So already we're concerned. So 4